Leaving Warsaw, we passed through the modern, expanded area of the city. Free market economic reforms were adopted in Poland in 1989, and worldwide investment has followed. With a competitive business climate supported by political stability, Poland has a dynamic business environment today. And some farm equipment. Some little haystacks. Most of the land all the way from Warsaw to Krakow is farmland. The other thing we've learned is people rarely have flowers around their houses. Lots of bushes, shrubs, trees, but very few flowers.
Part of the Austrian Empire, and also when the Nazis overran Poland, they were using the term Krakow. I prefer, just out of respect, because it is a Polish town, to call it Kraków, Krakow, and the zero has an accent facing to the right on it, and that is an oo sound in Poland. So I say.
Along the way, we stopped at this beautiful hotel restaurant. Beautiful decoration inside, including a stuffed wild boar and a cannon from some war, nice seating, and good food.
Artist, pianist, and also politician, Ignacy Paderewski. Paderewski was quite famous pianist, and he had many concerts in the United States. And he was one of the men. Thanks to him, Poland got back freedom after the First World War in the 1940s.
This monument commemorates the 1410 Battle of Grunwald, where the Poles and the Lithuanians together defeated the Teutonic Knights. Erected in 1910, it was destroyed by the Germans during World War II. After the war, it was reconstructed and reopened in 1976. It's 78 feet tall, and at the top is an equestrian statue of the king of that time.
Universities, and we have more than 250,000 students. No, which means that our population is close to 1 million people.
Well, you don't count them in 800.
Built in the 16th century.
This wave of immigrants to the United States from all European countries, not only from this part of Europe, but from all European countries, from Italy, Irish people, and because it was a total recession here at that time. And the people who emigrated from this part, they so-called Galicianos, because the north part of Austro-Hungarian Empire is so-called Galicia. Nothing with Galicia from Spain is just a name. And of course, German language was an official language at that time, in Galicia also.
200,000 Ukrainian refugees now. Most of them are women with children. Krakow is in the south of Poland, and as a result, they were part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. A lot of Art Nouveau buildings from the early 1900s. Oh, here's a wax museum. Looks like an Austrian emperor. Communism, they took these buildings away and they became government property. But after 1989, the former owners got them back. Italian Renaissance, 16th century. Tree neoclassic. Largest market squares in Europe. It covers 4 hectares. First cloth hall here was built in the 13th century. The present building dates from 1555. It was once a major center of international trade. Exotic imports from the east included spices, silk, leather, and wax. while Krakow exported textiles, lead, and salt. Today, it's a tourist attraction. Now, on the main floor, you can buy jewelry, handcraft items, and souvenirs. At one time, there was a cemetery next to the Basilica, but in 1795, the cemetery was removed. In its place, St. Mary's Square was created, and some of the surviving tombstones are now located on the church walls. Today, this is St. Mary's Square. Till 1795, it was a cemetery. Until then, funerals were held in the nearby St. Barbara's Chapel. There's been many expansions and renovations over the year, the latest being from 1990 to 2003. Note the two distinctive bell towers. Every hour, a live bugler has a short bugle call from each of the 4 windows on top the taller tower. Polish national treasure. This is the largest Gothic altarpiece in the world. It was carved in wood between 1477 and 1489. Before World War II, the Poles wisely dismantled it and hid it around the country. However, the Nazis found it and put it in the Nuremberg castle basement. As the sculptor was German, the Nazis claimed it was German property. Luckily, it survived the war and was recovered in 1946. After a 10-year restoration, it was returned to the church in 1956. The latest restoration and conservation project took place from 2015 to 2021. 42 feet tall and 36 feet wide. The realistically sculptured figures are up to 12 feet tall. There's a total of 200 carved figures. These are all full of vendors selling things from here and afar. The base of most cities in Europe today were built on top of ancient Roman camps, and this square was Roman. Built of stone and brick at the end of the 14th century, the tower is all that remains of the old city hall, which was demolished in 1820. It's 230 feet tall and is now a museum. The old clock mechanism is now controlled by radio waves, which gives it the accuracy of the atomic standard time. Built in the 14th century, this is Poland's oldest surviving university building. It holds a wealth of historic science instruments, including some used by Copernicus. Today, it's a museum. Professors through World War II were arrested and sent to Krakow for the war. They started underground universities, and so the students got their education anyway, those that survived.